And welcome in, waffle board breakers. How is everybody doing? Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, Larry, for the birthday wishes. I'm obviously hoping to hit myself, but oh man, those crab cakes, man! I said they came out unbelievable. Like I said, my plan was always to buy the cans of claw meat, which are on sale till Saturday at ShopRite for 2 for 12. So that was my plan always. And then I talked to my brother, and he was like, "Well, we want to go crabbing. Come down." So my son and I drove down. We got on the boat with his family, and we went out. And we, like I said, we got sunburned, and we hit some. We had like a dozen or so first couple spots we stopped at, but then as we started to head in back to his house, and we just basically stopped at the lagoon and basically dropped anchor, and we hit some biggies. It was a nice haul at that point in time. We were hauling in from three different sides of the boat. It was pretty impressive. So there were some nice big ones in there. I mean everything was basically minimum size or a little bit above, and then we hit some big boys. So he basically had them on ice when we were out there in the cooler, and then he steamed them up when we got back to the house, and I brought them back to the house, and I grabbed my crab meat the next day, Saturday morning, and like I said, I picked the shells. Like I said, I'm an expert crab picker. I should work on the assembly line, and I'm a little bit too detail. I mean, it's a lot of work. Picking crab meat is no joke. That's why crab meat is quite expensive. But yeah, some of the back fins I was pulling from those crabs was, oh man, you get that chunk lump meat from that back fin. Oh, it's fantastic. So yeah, I said there's no real filler. Basically, it's just basic ingredients. Actually, I didn't do panko this time. I actually decided to go with some crushed up like Ritz crackers. I mean, I've never done it that way. Gives it a little bit of a buttery taste. Obviously, there's some Old Bay in there, mayonnaise, some Worcestershire sauce. I didn't put any onion powder or garlic powder in there. Just some Dijon mustard, a little dash of hot sauce just to get a bit. Like I said, it came out good. Like I said, nobody really eats them in my house, but my in-laws eat them. So I had my father and mother-in-law over, and they both enjoyed them. We sent out one to, one of their family members. And like I said, I still had like 6 or 7, I think, upstairs. I said I'll probably make crab cake sandwiches. They don't last forever. Obviously you got to eat them, relatively soon. You can't really freeze them, anything like that. So I do have some crab cakes to eat over the next couple of days. So it was enjoyable. Obviously it's a labor of love, being out there on the boat with the family. It was, obviously it's, you're enjoying the boats. Boats are fun to be out there on the water. Crabbing takes some skill. Like I said, it's not no joke. I mean, we had a cage up in the front of the boat that caught the first crab, I think, of the day. Maybe I caught the first crab. I bet it might have been the second crab. Was in the cage. They dropped off the front of the boat, but then they caught a baby like sand shark in the cage. So it was like, okay, the cage, and then later at the end when we dropped the cage in, they managed to nail a couple with the cage as well. So it was exciting. Like I said, we probably had about 3 or 4 different people dropping lines off the sides of the boat and the back of the boat. And I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day on the bay. The weather was nice. Obviously, there's no clouds because they break up as soon as you get to the coast. It's pure sun. It wasn't too. I mean, obviously, you notice when you get sunburned, but it's breezy out there on the bay, so it was enjoyable. So, like I said, I hadn't done it a couple years. Last year I didn't go out. I had my son and his family. They don't always go out for crabbing, but it was a good time. Like you said, it was definitely an enjoyable day. They headed down. Him and his family head down to Washington D.C. the next morning to go to museums, a couple of them, and catch. He's a Reds fan, so they caught 2 Reds games down there. So it's enjoyable for them. Like I said, it was fun, but it was a good start to the weekends. Obviously they couldn't even use the meat because they gave it all to me. I put it in the cooler and brought it home. So it was definitely enjoyable. So, but yeah, like I said, it was a good weekend. Like I said, that's what it comes down to. You want to be able to relax and spend some time with your family. Today I was up here at home with my family, and we went out with my brother-in-law's families, and we went out to like a late lunch. It was good. That was enjoyable as well. So it was a pretty good weekend, even though I'm still very sunburned. And I said I got some redness on my arms, tough to tell there. My feet and legs, and kind of like not really farmer's tan, more like boat boat person tan. So, but it was a good time. So no complaints, even though you're a little hurt. Obviously washing dishes was like, ooh, the water was hot to the skin. The shower this morning, it was like I took a colder shower than normally, but it was a good time. So, but like I said, it's fun. Like I said, tonight down to 30 boxes and 29 boxes for our 2 that we're going to open. Craziness. I'm bad at what I do because I let it get down to this low. Of course, we've been doing either Wednesday or Tuesday, Thursday. I want to give you guys a chance at a couple of hits. So I'm going to do 2 boxes this week. Obviously against my best interest, but still 1 in 28 on Tuesday. And we'll do 1 in 27 on Thursday. And that's if we don't hit 17. 17 is a trigger box. So, of course, 17 opens tonight or Tuesday or Thursday. Another box will also open. So the odds of 17 hitting right now are 1 in 30 and 1 in 29. So if either of the boxes we random is 17, we will open up another box completely at free. And that will happen also on Tuesday and Thursday. So, yeah, like you guys benefit the best. Obviously, this is as good odds as you can find anywhere on the interwebs. If you do find better odds, please give me a call because I would love to be in those boxes as well. Like I said, we do, we have a lot of, good breakers around. Obviously, Nick F over and whatnot, and Daryl obviously does his stuff on Yahoo or on Facebook, and then Big Al doing it Monday and Wednesdays, and then he has weekend multi-sports. But he's got East Coast stuff coming. I believe it might be here this week already. So he's got, it's a similar checklist to the last one. I'm missing a couple names and got a couple newer names, so it's pretty fun. But like I said, it's going to be a fun time. Like I said, we're still kind of in a slow hockey news zone, though I did see one of the reload jerseys is an Evander Kane Winnipeg jersey. I saw across the scroller, I saw he's possibly going to sign over in the KHL with Akbars, which is kind of pretty cool. I actually have, back from the lockout, I have I bought a bunch of jerseys because of, back in the old lockout. Lutch is the company that makes the KHL jerseys. And I bought a Lutch Akbars green Kovalchuk jersey. It's not signed or anything like that, but it's similar to the ones that I've had in the boxes. It's dye supplemented, of course, with all the advertisers on it, and of course the name across the back. But Ilya Kovalchuk, one of my favorites, and that's a pretty cool Akbars. I know Akbars is one of the Russian teams. They're all owned by those multi-billionaire oil moguls over in Russia, and Akbars during the lockout spent a lot of money bringing in players, to play and chase a title, which I think they managed to win one. But they had, talking some of the big names that they brought over during the lockout, Le Cavalier was there, Brad Richards was there, Danny Heatley was there, Datsu Kovalchuk. Like they've had some, Habibulin. So like Akbars was one of the, biggest teams in the KHL. Kovalov played over there during at some point in time. So, and that's good. 54 days till face-off. Okay, I'm ready for that. Like I said, I don't have a countdown yet. Like I said, I haven't even renewed my package, but I think they probably auto renews. I basically just get notified that the money's coming out of my account. But so Akbars, like I said, add the Kane is a Winnipeg Kane that's going in, which is cool. It's a Reebok Kane. But like I said, a former flyer Robert Esch played over at Akbars. I'm trying to remember some of the other names I remember playing over there. I mean, those are probably the biggest of the NHLers, either during the lockout or after they retired. But that was interesting to see. Other than that, like I said, just seeing some pre rankings on different networks, whether it's HL Network and Dobber Hockey. They're doing notifications about which are your best fantasy players to have, and of course as we get closer, we'll be seeing the picks for the the rookie of the year and stuff like that. I don't think I'll have any of the big names chasing it this year. Like I said, last year I made a deal for the first or second pick, and I got Schaefer, who actually exploded. I was hoping to get Misa because I had Sharks at the time, but not Celebrini. But I was hoping to get Misa, a big scorer. He didn't have a huge offensive year, but he definitely got some good time playing with that young, talented core. I have Will Smith, so like I said, I do have elements of the Sharks, includes a couple younger drafted guys. But I had Eklund, he got sent to Ottawa, but I was hoping to get Misa, and it kind of fell through. And I don't love taking defensemen, that early in the draft because it takes a little while for them to make an impact. Unfortunately for me, Misa Schaefer stepped in and was one of the top 10 defensemen in the league last year. So that was impressive. And I have Islanders. I have, Barzal. I have Horvat. I have a couple different, Islanders. I have Sorokin. So it's having him end up on the Islanders was fun to root for and having the year he had. So, I'm still living off the season I had last year where I actually claimed the championship. But we'll see. Like I said, every year is different. Obviously you have to make some cuts before your regular draft. I think we have like a 6 or 8 round draft. So not a lot of players go. It's pretty much a pretty pure keeper league, 8 teams. So they're pretty deep teams. Not a lot of changes except trades, and we have a lot of trades this year, so that's fun. Like I said, it's enjoyable, and I guess we're 54 days away. We probably will start. I don't know when our draft is. Might be the end of August or the very beginning of September. I'll have to pay attention to that. But other than that, like I said, I know you guys. Hope you have seen the pictures for the reload. I got some notes. You guys are liking some of the stuff that's going in. I think I put 12 pictures up. I think there's 14 going in. There's one that hasn't arrived yet. But, of course, I have to put the spots in on eBay tonight to start Tuesday. So the reload spots will start Tuesday night on eBay. And next Sunday we'll have the full reload in there. So if we're looking at 14 going in, we'll see what we're down. Like I said, I can't make any predictions yet because we still have 17 as kind of a wild card box that could hit. As of right now, we're looking at 4 boxes out. It'll be 20. That'll get us down to 26. But if one more goes, it makes it down to 25. So that's what we're looking. And obviously, we're looking to get in 14. And then if the one doesn't arrive to me, it'll be 13. But either way, it's a good batch. I'm really happy with them. I'm sure you guys already have your targets. The full pictures went up today. The collages went up a couple days ago. The boxing video, of course, will be at the end of the week. So expect that till probably Saturday morning or Friday, depending on how it goes. Obviously, we're doing a box Tuesday and Thursday, so I'll try to get everything out on Friday, maybe Saturday if I have to. Everything that was hit before today is already in the mail. I dropped off some boxes yesterday at the USPS, so they're on the way to you guys now. So keep an eye out for them. Without any holidays here in August, there shouldn't be any delays or anything. They all should get to you guys by midweek. No later than Thursday or Friday would be the worst case scenario, but I don't imagine. I think they're all in the East Coast, couple zones, so nothing's going Midwest. I know a bunch of you guys live out in the Midwest. Like I said, we got a pretty good crowd tonight. Like I said, it's on our weekends, of course. We still know Ron. Ron's still taking a bit of a sabbatical from us, but of course, Shirley, Mike A, and Ryan S. Both of them are here today. Good luck to them. Greg K, Mike Z with the closer mojo. He has some spots before that, so he's coming back here. Thomas M, Daryl L, Jake G, and Brett G, father-son duo. CK, of course, one of our longtime WAFFLEBOARD breakers. Who else are we missing? Larry V. Larry V's got your spots. I know you got some stuff. You're probably looking in the reload as well. Let me see what we got. Am I missing anybody? I think there's Dale as well as Daryl. I think it's everyone. So we'll be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. So it's pretty good crowd, obviously, 10, 11 or 12 owners. We'll see what happens tonight. Like I said, you're not going to get better odds. 130 and 1 in 29. And obviously, if you have multiple spots, you increase your chances. Like I said, if you got 3 spots, you got a 1 in 10 chance of hitting, which is absolutely absurd. Grabbing 3 spots, having a 1 in 10 chance. I don't know if anybody's got as many as 6 spots. We don't have anybody that's covering up most of the board. But if you have 6 spots, you get a 1 in 5 chance. That's craziness. Of course, 1 in 17 hits. That's hole in one or two. Price is Right style. We got another box right after that. So whoever has that box, of course, will hit that jersey, and we'll open up a completely new box, completely free as a gift from me to you guys. So other than that, like I said, it's a slow news day as far as hockey goes. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer so far. Like I said, 54 days from face off is crazy. And of course, we have camp battles, and there's always going to be injuries. It's a shame to see like a player like Bedard go down for a decent stretch. Be interested to see if Chicago does bring in Jonathan Taves, but of course they do have the Patrick Kane on the 2-year kind of farewell tour, back to the team where he won cups. So that's pretty cool. But like I said, there are some names out there that still aren't signed yet. So I'm really hoping that there's some more news about Tarasenko. Ended up in Tampa. I think he's a player that can still contribute. You get 25 goals out of him playing with the talented Tampa Bay can roll out there. That's perfect. I mean, obviously we lost. We traded for a backup goalie to move the product, Nick Paul, to Toronto. He's a player that's, he's healthy. He's a player who did a little bit of everything for you. Tarasenko's not quite the same type player, but they could use talented forwards in Tampa. Like I said, you have some good young players that they can contribute, but I don't expect them to contribute. I mean, obviously you have to get your earn your skating wings. Then it'll drop you onto the first line. I mean, hopefully Brandon Point can have a better year than he did last year. I don't think he's finished. I just think he had some bad luck last year. He was dinged up a little bit, but Jake Gensel was absolutely fantastic. And Cooch is all world. And then, of course, you have a solid second line. So, I mean, with Hagel, Sorelli, they have players that can put up numbers, but it'd be always nice to bring in a guy if he can fit. I mean, I don't think Tarasenko is going to get huge money, so they can get him for a couple-year deal. I would love to see him as a Bolt this year, but like I said, I've seen kind of murmurings of it, but there haven't been like the top name mentioned for him, but he's definitely, obviously, he has a place where he can fit in. I think if Tampa brings him in, of course you have to, Coach Cooch got to think that he can play in a system. Not going to bring in a guy that he feels, doesn't offer him multifacets. Got to be able to, play some defense, and I think he's gotten better at that. He's not a pure goal scorer anymore. He's not like a puck hog. He's not a guy that's going to cherry pick. But I mean, like I said, if you got film of him and you think that he'd work with you guys, obviously they have some Russians. I'm not sure if Cooch and him are close or anything like that, but it'd be very nice to see if they can bring him into the fold. But other than that, like I said, football's going strong right now. We got the Hall of Fame game the other day. Watching Carolina out there with Arizona. We're seeing former Kane, well, for a year anyway. Carson Beck actually didn't look terrible, though he did throw a Carson Beck deep ball that almost got his receiver decapitated, and the guy held on to it, which is impressive. But even though it's not for real yet, watching the young guys slinging around, even though the big names aren't out there yet, it was still good to see regular football. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to. I'm ready for the Canes. I mean, this is going to be a big Canes year. I mean, last year I thought it was going to be a big Canes year. I didn't expect the national championship, but this year they're not top 3. I think there might be 5 or 6 in the preseason rankings, and they got a serious schedule. But we'll see if they can win their biggies. Obviously, it's like I said, everybody's going to be gunning for them. Mensah coming in as a transfer with his receiver, and the players they have are uber talented. They did lose a lineman that I expected to contribute, a young guy, but hopefully they can replace the guys that are in the NFL. So we'll see how that goes too. So college football is coming, baseball's here. Baseball, the Jays are pretty much dead in the water, so I don't expect them pay much attention in August. But mostly hockey. The hockey news I'll be scouring for, and Canes getting ready for their their first game of the season. I think he plays Stanford. So we'll see how it goes. So just 2 boxes tonight. Let's do it. Cannot wait to see what we got. After tonight, I'll probably move everything into the middle. Haven't even started building boxes for the reload. But I like to get everything on the table. So I don't have what I got. I got 11 boxes on the shelf right now. And I definitely get nipped in. I can move the last 2. I can do the May and June reloads will be in the middle column, and then the July reload will be on the right column. So we'll do that. Like I said, that'll be internal rearranging for me. But other than that, let me see. Yes, and I think everybody's spots are in and paid for. Thank you much. I appreciate it. I will get the spot price preview up as soon as I can, and the prices will be the same for both boxes. No matter what hits on Tuesday, Monster, mid-level, lower level, it's going to be the same for Thursday's box. So no matter what, you're looking at 1 in 1 in 28 on Tuesday and 1 in 27 on Thursday. So let's get, unless we hit 17 tonight. So let's see how we're going. There we go. There's my list and my reload. Good luck, everybody. Wherever you may be. Okay. There we go. There it is. Okay. Very good. There we go. You guys know the drill. 5 or more, of course. On our die roll, we'll do 1 box, and then we'll back that number out. Then we'll do 5 or more second dice roll for the second box. So good luck, everybody. You guys know the drill. 17 is our trigger box. That number comes up. We will also roll for a second box. So we'll see how it goes. So, of course, all the boxes, we got 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 6 each, and 11 from the most recent reload, which we've been hitting over this past week. So surprising there. It took a little while for us to get into it, but we're down to 11 from the July reload. So good luck, everybody. Die roll 5 or more. It is 4 is no good. 5 or more. It is 6. Our first box, 6 times the list. Okay, very good. Good luck, everybody. In order, 6 times 1. 30 boxes. There it is. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the first box we're going to open tonight, box number 49. 49 is also in the reload. Man, hitting that 6 times. 6 times. Box 49. Okay, there we go. You guys, reloads. Oh, man. Some people like to lean the other direction, but here we go. Box 49. We will back that out. Box 49 it is. Back that out. Good. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. 5 or more. See a roll again. It is 7, the most common die roll. So 6 and 7. So good luck, everybody. 7 times. 1. 29 boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the second box tonight. Box 49 was the first box. Second box is number 80. 80 is an older box from the left column. 80 it is. 7 times. Box 80. 7 times. Box 80. Okay. I don't know if that's a single run or not. So there's single runs and double runs. Box 80 comes out. Box 80. Boom, boom, boom. Very good. Box 49 and box 80. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. That is out there. Box 49 and box 80. Okay. Let me look. Box 80. Box 80. There's box 80. Not a single. We will have another single box left. Box 80 and box 49. Okay. Ooh. Very good. Box 80 and box 79. About 49. 49. 49. Box 49. Okay. Box 49. And box 80. Box 80. Box 49. Box 80. So good luck, everybody. Not a single box. This is one of 11 from the reload. We're now down to 10 from the last reload. 6 and 6 from the two before it. Now we're down to 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. 4 single box runs left in that left column. Of course, we'll have 12 in the middle, and we'll have 10 on the rights for Tuesday night. So good luck, everybody. Any predictions? Prediction pain. 11 boxes here, guys. Box 49. Very good. Very good. Box 49 it is. We got some nice monsters in this reload. Woo, let me see what we got. Oh, this is going to be fun. Box 49. Show us what you got. Now, current Dallas Star, Mikko Rantanen. Like I said, I'm a big fan. I have 4 PC Rantanens. Mikko Rantanen, the Finnish superstar, Stanley Cup champion for the Colorado Avalanche. AJ Sports COA. There we go. Mikko Rantanen. You've been knocking out the Finns. Where's my Finn guy been? Team over in Finland hasn't been bidding spots. Mikko Rantanen, Fanatics, Colorado Avalanche. I remember getting a Mikko. I remember seeing one online, and they put the 9 and the 6 upside down. So the guy that had it online, it was an official jersey, but that was a signature. And since Mikko's got terrible handwriting, I'm like, that's not Mikko 96. Yeah, that was in the place of the 6. So that was definitely a no-go. So I contacted the guy. It's like, I got bad news for you. That's the upside down number. So clearly that jersey was made after they got a signature, because I doubt he would sign it upside down. But there it is. AJ Sports COA. Colorado Seas on the sleeves. Fanatics. No fight strap. Fanatics. Replica. There it is. This is unlike the current Fanatics reps. Like heat press numbers. These are nicely stitched nameplate. Not an electric nameplate, actually. No, this is a little electric. Very nice, very shiny. Very, very nice. Mikko Rantanen going away. I know Daryl's got a Stars Rantanen in his box. I'm not sure if there's one in the East Coast series that's coming up, but there we go. Congratulations. I do not know who has Rant tonight. I think was he unsold? I think he went a bit. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, there it is. Box 80. Box 80 it is. Box 80. We'll see what we got in here. Very, very nice. One of our oldest 7. Now we have 6 from before May, basically. We got May, June, July. And these are all from before May. So box 80, let's show you what you got. Box 80 it is. Oh, there it is. So that is going to Brett G. There it is. The father-son duo strikes. We'll see. Let me see who has let me see if one of the father-son duos with this one. Oh, it could be a father-son night. We'll see what comes out of this one. Here we go. Box 80. Box 80. And 50-50 shot. It was a father-son night, and it is not. it is Anthony Mantha. Congratulations, finally coming out. That's going to Thomas M. Thomas M has been grabbing that on Facebook, and he's grabbed it on eBay a couple times. I know Mike H was grabbing it too a little bit. This is a nice AJ Sports World. Obviously signed as a Detroit Red Wings. Had a fantastic year last year with the Pens. Anthony Mantha. Boom. Very, very nice. Look at great sig on the Mantha. This is a Adidas Pro, of course, with the fight straps. There it is. Fight strapped up on the Detroit, man. Look at that. No nameplate. Gorgeous. Just stitched to the jersey. That's the way Detroit's got to be. Just red and white, man. No craziness in the Detroit jerseys. Just straight up numbers. The 3-9, the wing, the wheel. Very, very nice. Adidas Pro, of course. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very nice. Congratulations, Thomas M. I know you need a little bit of sunshine in your life. And there it is. WAFFLEBOARD Breaks is giving it a little to you on Sunday night with the Adidas Pro. Sorry, JG. I know you were hoping to do the father-son action. That would have been pretty crazy. I don't know if we had you both these guys hitting the same night. I know you guys have hit close to each other a couple times, but there we go. Definitely two great hits. Brett G coming home with the Rantanen. Thomas M stepping up with the Anthony Mantha. Very, very nice. Congratulations to both you guys. Obviously, there it is. Hell yeah, Thomas. Wasn't sure if you got in to watch us live. Very nice. Always happy when you guys are here. I know Brett's in. Obviously, he grabbed some unsolds. Thomas, you had your eBay spot. So there it is, Mantha. I know you've been grabbing him on Tuesdays or Thursdays or Wednesdays whenever we do Facebook. So it was nice to see you grab him on the eBay spot. So I know Mike H has been picking him up every once in a while, but he hasn't been in the last couple boxes. So, you've been grabbing that spot. That's on you. So when the randomizer shines, sometimes it shines on, dedicated spot grabbers. So, and Rantanen went unsold. Obviously, Brett G stepped in and grabbed that spot. Congratulations to him. I love when that happens as well. So, yeah, very good. Congratulations, Mike, sending them out. Obviously, Larry sending them out. You guys great. Like I said, you guys are great WAFFLEBOARD breakers. Obviously, you've become regulars. Thomas has been here forever, and Mike C's been here, relatively new, but he's loving the game. I mean, you have to. If you got to, don't hate the player, hate the game. Can't hate the game. So definitely, I'm glad you're part of the WAFFLEBOARD break, crowd. Obviously, over at Big Al's this week, tomorrow night. And of course, like I said, Daryl opens his box tomorrow, and then he'll post another listing either tomorrow night or Tuesday. I didn't check the schedule, but that's another box he'll have. I guess tomorrow it posts, and I guess it opens on Thursday, maybe. I'm not sure what his schedule is, but Tuesday and Thursday, like I said, same night as me, so I'm gonna have a tough time getting over to Nick's breaks at whatnot. But usually I try to stop in at least 1 to 2 days, but now going back to Tuesday and Thursdays makes it tough. So usually when I'm doing my prep work, I throw on his stream so I can catch his first box or two. But I said he does have some jerseys I would love to hit, not just for here, but for the PC. So so congratulations. Two great jerseys, the Mantha Adidas Pro, Detroit Red Wings. That's absolutely beautiful, beautiful Red Wings letters, no nameplate. I mean, that's as good as you want to see on a Detroit jersey. And then, of course, Miko, super duper star, current Dallas Star member, where he won the cup in Colorado. So, like I said, I haven't moved my PC to get a, Carolina for a shortstop or his Dallas Stars yet. But like I said, I have to figure out what I'm doing with those. I love the Colorado one. So if I choose, I have to choose. It's like choosing which one of your kids you got to give up. If I have to give up one of those, but we'll see. Down the road, there may be some shaving from the PC, and one of those will end up in the boxes. You guys know, the stuff that I go from my PC to the boxes are legit hits. So congratulations again, both you guys. I'll work on getting the spot price preview up as soon as I can tonight. And then, of course, these will be entered. The rest of the jerseys will be entered on Tuesday for for eBay, as well as the reload jerseys. So as of right now, I'm planning on doing all 14, but of course I could always end one even if it doesn't arrive. But it has to be here by next weekend, which is not a problem. But I always get a little leery when I don't have it in house. But other than that, thank you everybody. Thank you again. Wonderful, wonderful weekends. eBay spots and the unsold claims. You guys do a great job. Keep me running, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here. If I'm not over at Big House tomorrow night, I'll definitely see you guys back here on Tuesday. So till then, enjoy your beginning of your week. Stay cool wherever you are. I'll enjoy the rest of my evening. Waffle Board Breaks is out. Take care, guys. Thank you, everybody.